In today's video, we will learn that how to make OTP verification in Angular 17 by using a very basic and simple example. So creating OTP, that is also called one-time password verification in Angular 17, involves several steps, including setting up your Angular project, creating a component for OTP verification, and integrating it with a backend service for OTP generation and validation. In this tutorial, we will go through these steps step by step. So there are some prerequisites that make sure you have it. First one is basic knowledge of Angular. Second, Node.js and npm installed on your system. And third one is Angular CLI installed globally. Also, I am assuming that you have some very basic knowledge of Node.js so that we could quickly implement a backend server to have that OTP server. Let's get started. So first of all, open up your terminal. And there you need to type a command to create a new project, that is ng-new project name. So it can be any name of the project, just create it. Once it is created, you need to go into that project folder by using the cd command. Okay, once you are in the project folder, you can open it in your favorite editor. I am currently using VS Code, so I will open it in the VS Code by using the command code dot. Okay. So I already have created my project and it is already opened. So I will start from here. Next, we need to create a new Angular component for OTP verification. So for that, open the terminal and type the command ng generate component OTP verification. Press enter. That would generate a new component folder for you. Now step 3 is design the OTP verification UI. As this is a very simple example, so I will keep it very simple and minimal. So in the OTP verification.component.html file, design the OTP verification UI. You can create an input field for entering the OTP, a button for verification, and other elements you need for design. So now here I will add a div with class OTP verification, and I will add the h2 heading OTP verification. So here I will add an input type text ng model, and I will give it a component property OTP, and placeholder would be enter OTP. Okay, as we want to use ng model, so make sure to import the forms module in your OTP verification component. I'm using standalone, so I can directly import the forms module in my import array of this component. If you are not using standalone and you are using module, then you have to import the forms module in the relevant module of your OTP verification component. Okay. Also, instead of adding it here, let me cut it and move it to the OTP verification HTML file instead of that. Okay. Now I have to define this property OTP in my component to get rid of that error. Okay. After that, I will create a button verify OTP, and I will register a click event on this button that will call a function verify OTP, and at the bottom I will add a p tag that will display the verification result. Now step 4 is OTP verification logic. So in the OTP verification component.ts file, implement the OTP verification logic and integrate it with the backend API. Here I will add the verification result, and by default it will have empty string. I will define a constructor, and in that constructor I will define a variable OTP data is equal to an object that will have property OTP this.otp. Okay. Now I will access the HTTP service. For that, I need to inject the HTTP service. For that, I will define a property private HTTP is equal to, I will use the inject function and give it the HTTP client service class name. Also, as you want to use the HTTP client, you need to go back to the app config, and here you need to add the provide HTTP client function in the providers array. Okay, so now let's call the post method on the HTTP and give it the path of the backend endpoint. So I also passed the data. Now I will subscribe to it, and I will pass it a callback function, and that from that callback function I will receive a response from the backend, and then I will use this dot verification result is equal to I will add a custom text message here, OTP verified successfully. And not only this, I will set this message based on the success message from the response. Then I will set this value. In the else block, I will do the opposite, that OTP verification failed. If you also want to handle the error, so then just remove this and pass the object, and then use the next property and give it that same callback function, and add the property error and give it callback function, and there you can handle the error. Okay, and also you can set the error message in the okay, I have added this verification result with an error message. Next we will work on the backend, and we'll start with the very basic server by using Express.js. So let's do that. One second. So here, instead of keeping this logic here in the constructor, sorry about that, I should have added in the verify OTP function and save it. Now the error should be gone. So let me replace the function name with the correct one. All right. Now, before moving forward, let me import the OTP verification component in my imports array of the app component, and here we need to add that tag in the app component.html. So OTP verification tag. Okay. Now you will see that the OTP verification form is visible in our application. Now let's proceed and create and set up our Node.js application. So you can create a folder separately as well, or you can just for the sake of simplicity, I will just create a folder for the Node.js in the same Angular project. So here I will create a folder. For that, use the command mkdir. You can also manually create from the file here as well. Okay. So okay, the folder has been created. Now in the terminal, go to the backend folder, and now initialize the Node.js project, npm init. I will just select the default options, and now go to the backend folder. Here I will add the index.js file, and now I will install some dependencies. Npm install express body parser course. Okay, press enter. So after it is installed, you will see the dependencies would be added dependencies section. Okay, now we need to create backend server. So go to the index.js file. I will create a variable express is equal to require express. Okay, and now I need body parser, and then I need course, and then I need the app. So this will create the app, and now I need a port. It can be any port. Let me try 3000. Okay, now I will pass the middleware body parser. Now I will use the course middleware, and then I will create a function generate OTP. So here I will return math.floor, and I will convert it back to the string. Okay, so this function basically simulate OTP generation logic. You can replace with your actual implementation here. Okay, now next I will create a local variable generated OTP is equal to empty string. So as this is a very simple tutorial, so I will be saving the generated OTP here in this variable, and we will be getting it back from here to verify later. Now I will define my endpoint. So here I will add /API/generate OTP. Okay, and now in this callback function, I will update the generated OTP with a new fresh OTP that I will generate by using generate OTP function. And now I will send a response back to the client, and here I will send the success property with true value. Okay, now I will create another endpoint, app.post method, and verify OTP would be the endpoint. All right, and now I will get the OTP from the body, and I will use if OTP is equal to generated OTP. So I have sent a message, OTP is verified, also with the property success true. Okay, this message is not compulsory, you can just remove it as well. Next, in the else block, I will send the opposite message with the success false, and at the end we'll start the server by running the listen function on the port that we have defined above. Here we will display the message that server is listening at this port. Okay, so this backend code includes endpoints for OTP generation, generate OTP, and OTP for the OTP verification. It has the endpoint API/verify OTP. In the real world scenario, you would replace the generate OTP function with the more secure OTP generation mechanism. So let's start the backend server. Open the terminal and run the command npm or node index.js. Okay, you can see that the console message is visible. That means the server is running. With both the front end and back end running, open your Angular application in the browser, enter the OTP and click the verify OTP button. The front end will send a request to the backend, and you should see the verification result displayed on the page. So let's say I will add wrong. It is saying that an error occurred while verifying the OTP. So let's see the error. So it is saying that not found. Okay, because we have a /API before the actual endpoint name. So let's add that in the TS file. Here I will add API/verify OTP. Okay, now let's add any random. It is saying that OTP verification failed. There is no error, but in the network you can see we got the success false. So now let's quickly create an OTP. Now I'm going to generate the OTP. So let's copy this endpoint, open the postman to send the post request to this endpoint. So open a new tab, paste the endpoint along with the backend base URL. That would be http localhost 3000 for us, and use the post method and hit it. Okay, success is true and we got the OTP code. Okay, now OTP has been saved in this variable. Now I will go back and I will put the correct OTP. I should see the success message this time. You can see that OTP verified successfully message is visible because of the success true value from the backend. So please note that this is a simplified example for demonstration purposes. In a production environment, you should implement better OTP generation and validation mechanisms, security measures, error handling, and more robust backend logic. That's it. You have created an OTP verification feature in your Angular 17 application. You can expand and enhance this feature as needed for your specific use cases. I hope that this video was useful for you. If you like this video, then please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon to get notified for my upcoming videos. Also, please like, share, and comment on this video. If you have any questions or feedback or suggestions, then please leave them in the comment section. Thanks for watching. See you next time.